Hi everybody and welcome to another Xmas video. This week is all about my inventory. So my previous video was all about my eyeshadow palette collection. I showed every single palette that I currently own, and this is going alongside with that video. So this is my palette pan percentage as well as my plans for a project. We're calling it just Project Progress for 2021. This is specifically all about eyeshadows. So many of you probably know I've done a lot of eyeshadow related projects in the past. I did Pan That Palette for many years. I had Project Pan Porn, which this is sort of like Project Pan Porn, and I've had a few other projects as well, and of course Project Pans. Now, Project Progress is going to be all about trying to get more pans on my eyeshadows overall, because I looked at my pan percentage and I believe it was somebody had done this for the pan those shadows, like with single shadows and with other things, kind of just to calculate how many pans of eyeshadow they had versus how many things they'd hit pan on and like what that sort of ratio is. I like numbers, so I thought this would be a fun thing to do. I'm really motivated by numbers and I'm really motivated by seeing usage. That's why I'm doing it. I'm a very visually motivated person. So I counted up all of the eyeshadows, all of the pans, all of the things I've hit pan on. My total pans in eyeshadow, so just like the total amount of eyeshadow pans and all of the palettes I own, are 828. This is between 68 eyeshadow palettes. That's a lot of eyeshadow, and I'm not even counting my singles, but just within palettes, 68 palettes, 828 individual pans of eyeshadow. Out of the palettes that currently have pan showing, there are 13 palettes. Now, this is a little bit of a fuzzy area because my Natasha Denona palettes are sort of remixed. I tend to just customize them because they're magnetic, so I just pop them out. I just went with what I currently have. I didn't factor in each individual palette, so that number might be slightly different, but I found out that that is approximately 19% of my eyeshadow palettes that have pan showing. That seems like a decent amount, especially considering the amount of palettes I have and the amount that are new to me. I also decluttered a couple of palettes that had a substantial amount of pan, so that kind of hurt my ratio a little bit as well. So remember, there are 828 total pans of eyeshadow, but I've only hit pan on 33. That's not a lot. That's 3.99% of my total eyeshadows I have hit pan on. And I looked at that and I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that, those sort of numbers. I want to see more usage. I am a person who likes to see used makeup. I don't like to see things that don't look touched, because to me, that means that I haven't been using it to its fullest potential. Not always true, but just the way that my mind works. It just makes more sense to see more usage on things. And in general, I just really like when my collection looks used. It's also a really easy indicator to see those things that I like, or even the things that I don't like, just by looking at it. And it's hard to see that when there's very little usage. So I want to try and improve my pan percentages as much as I possibly can over 2021, hence the Project Progress. So my ultimate goal for this time next year is to have hit pan on 40% of my eyeshadow palettes, so basically double, and I want to try and get my overall pan percentage up to about 10%. Still pretty low, but just considering the amount I have, I think it's reasonable. We're going to adjust as we go, and I'm going to set monthly goals as well, because I really work well when I have goals. I am a very goal-oriented person. I need to have things to look forward to and things to work towards, which is why I was really drawn to panning and all of that to begin with. However, I want to make sure I don't burn myself out like I've done in the past. I want to make sure there's no real hard and fast rules. I just want to make sure I'm using things up. The main goal here is to use things. It's not about finishing things up as quickly as possible. So that was sort of my experience with Pan That Palette. It was like, just use as much as you possibly can to try and finish these. I'm just trying to increase that pan that's showing. I feel like this is also going to help me rotate my palettes around as well, so I don't just get stuck using the same handful of things. I'm really going to set appropriate goals and work towards them and still give myself the ability to play. So my plan is to do monthly updates, sort of check-ins. I'll talk about the palettes that I've been using over the last month. I'll talk about the kind of looks I was creating. I'll talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, and of course report on any new pan that was showing. So I'm really excited about this because I haven't had like an eyeshadow project. Like the last one was Project Pan Porn, which was so much fun, but I wanted to make this like a Project Pan Porn 2021. Like I wanted it to be a new version. I kind of want to let some of the past stuff go, some of the stuff that I've been doing over and over, even if it is a very similar concept. I just want to let some of the old names and the old projects go because I just feel like the past is in the past. So I want to keep moving forward, but I feel like this is a really fun way to keep me engaged and interested in what I already have because I'm on a no-buy. So this just goes right hand in hand with the no-buy, of course, because this is the 3rd year. While I do have new things coming in occasionally, I'm not purchasing anything myself. So what comes in, I don't have control over. So I want to just be able to focus on what I have and try and make the best out of those things. Now, there are no rules here. There's no cheating. Like some of the things that have pan on them are things that I used for Franken shadows. They're things that maybe I even dropped, but you can't add new shadow to something that's gone. So I had to track it appropriately. It doesn't mean all the things are like organic usage from just pure putting the eyeshadow on my eyelid. In some cases, I even use eyeshadow as blush, which helps to use it as well. There's no strict rules, and I feel like sometimes with some projects, people really like to control things, and things have to be done a very specific way in order to count, and I just want to say that's arbitrary nonsense. If anybody wants to do their own projects, follow whatever rules you want and don't be afraid of what other people think or what other people are doing because that doesn't affect you. The way I'm doing things here on my channel, in my life, may not work for other people, and that's okay. I've been sharing my journey for the last few years, which is why I continue to do so, and maybe it might inspire people to look at their things in a different way and even do their own projects, but I'm not saying you have to do exactly what I do. And I would never say that. It really has to be on a case-by-case basis and what really works for you, because trying to make your situation fit my situation would just end up causing more frustration. But maybe this might inspire you to look at your own collection, to see what you already have, to see if there's things that you can make changes with when it comes to specifically to eyeshadow, because I feel like it's really easy to accumulate a lot of eyeshadow palettes, but then we don't often see them go. Like I have a hard time letting go of palettes and decluttering palettes, but that's not going to be against my rules either. If I decide that there's things that I rotate in, that things that when I had done my inventory that I was like, I'm not quite sure if I like this, but I'm going to try and use this over the next year. And if I use it over the next year and I don't really like it, I can let it go, and that will of course help my pan percentage. I have a whole spreadsheet of everything that I had, including the handful of things that I did declutter when I did my inventory. So I just broke my spreadsheet up and have those listed as on the bottom, just so I can kind of continuously keep track of things, because that's going to help me moving forward so that I can go back and reference the things that I got rid of with little notes saying why, whether it was a formula issue, whether it had expired pretty quickly, whether it was about the shades, the colors, the finishes, whatever. So that will help all guide me through. And alongside this project, I will also be doing some competitive shadow showdowns. I will be doing like Edge of Extinction again, like I did with the Modern Renaissance. I'll be using things, I'll be seeing what I can create Franken shadow wise. I'm going to have a lot of fun with my eyeshadows. That is definitely the biggest goal for me over this next year, is just to not get bogged down and just have fun, but also try and use things as much as I possibly can and in as many creative, unique ways as possible. Because I just feel like that's the best way for me to challenge myself. So I hope you are up for this journey as well. Let me know if there are any particular things that you would like to see. If there are any particular things you would like to see covered when I do updates, I will try and put photos of eye looks when I can. I don't often take selfies of my everyday makeup because it's just pretty boring, and I'm not a selfie person. I know that sounds weird because if you look at my Instagram, I'm all like posy. It's a real difference between like full glam and my 20-minute everyday face, right? So, but I will promise to do my best with that. Let me know if there are other things that, of course, that you would like to see included, or if there's other eyeshadow projects you would like to see me do throughout the year, just in conjunction with the overall project progress and help me hit my overall goal of increasing that pan percentage. So anyway, let me know if you have any general questions, comments, or concerns. As always, I will do my best to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I look forward to bringing a project progress update to you at the end of January 2021. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.